All right, welcome back guys to question 4. Now let's have a look at question 4. Question 4, it says consider an exponential function given by t of x is equal to 2 and 2 to the power of negative x minus 4. Right, so this is an exponential function, guys. We know how to deal with exponential function. In the previous question of question 3, if you haven't gone question 3, please go through it before you come to question 4, so that we are able to understand what is happening on this one, because there are some of the things that I did touch on a little bit on question 3. Right, so now let's have a look at this one. 4.1 said write down the range. The range, we said, we are referring to the y values of the function where this function exists. And you will therefore remember on the previous example, or on the previous question, we said this here will just be our range. So therefore we say y has to be greater than negative 4 for which values? For the values where y is the element of all real numbers, just like that. Okay, now let's move on. 4.2 it says here 4.2.1 what is the x-intercept of t? Therefore x-intercept of t, where do we get the x-intercept, guys? Where should I? Okay, let me write it here. It's fine. I've got enough space here. We get the x-inter when y is equals to 0. But in this case, they didn't use y, guys. They used t. So it means that you're just gonna come here and say, instead of saying y, you'll just say when t is equals to 0. Okay. So let's see. So this here would have to be equal to 0. So it's going to be t of x is equal to 2 negative x minus 4. So this is 0 is equals to 2.2 negative x negative 4. Take negative 4 to the other side. Here in this case, it's going to have positive 4 is equals to 2 is to negative x. So therefore, what do? You divide by 2 on both sides. Divide by 2 on both sides is going to give us 2 is equals to 2 to the negative 2. So you would know any number this is here is to what? Is to power of 1. If the bases are the same, or if the bases are equal, therefore the exponent would have to be equal. So therefore it means in this case negative, okay, let me not swap them for now because I don't want to confuse you. It means 1 is equals to negative x. Divide everything by negative 1 when x is equal, you have to be negative 1 in this case. Okay, so and that's how you would deal with this one. So that's our x-intercept. So moving right along to y-intercept. Y-intercept, it is given there. This is 4.2.2. so they are asking us for this one. Y-intercept, we get it when x is equals to 0. So therefore we get it when x is equals to 0. So this is what y-intercept in this case. So therefore here we go. When will y be equals to 0? Then here we go here. Oh, sorry, we get it when x is equal to 0, not y. Hence I'm pausing because I'm also confusing myself here. All right, guys, we get this one y when x is equals to 0. So we're gonna say 2, then 2 minus 0 minus 4. Anything according to the exponent, guys, you should know this by now. Anything to the power of 0 is equals to 1. So therefore this will be 2 times 1 negative 4. So 2 times 1 will give us 2. 2 minus 4 will therefore give us minus 2. Therefore this is our y-intercept, which will be given by 0 is to minus 2, and then here also is gonna be negative 1 is to 0 as our coordinate. Moving right along, let's move to 4.3. 4.3 says here we need to plot the graph. Okay, now let's come here, use a blue color to plot this graph. They want us to plot the graph. I'm gonna put it here 4.3. Here we go. Okay, therefore, here we go. So this will be our y-axis, this will be also our x-axis. It says here the function is given like that. So what is the line of asymptotes? Remember, this is the line that the graph will not touch. So the line of asymptote in this case, it will have to be -4. So y is equals to -4, which is 4 somewhere there. It is our line of asymptote. Therefore, you know guys, line of asymptote, we draw it using a dotted line like that. Okay, great stuff. So now let's mark our x-intercept. Our x-intercept is what? Is -1. There you go. Therefore, and then our y-intercept is -2. Is there we go. So now it's time to draw our function. So we're gonna draw our function starting from the top here. It will go all the way down to the x-intercept, then it will move to the y-intercept. Therefore, it will approach the line of asymptote, but it will never touch it. Okay, did you hear what I said there, guys? It will approach the line of asymptote, but it will never touch it. Okay, so this is our graph t of x. Okay, and that's how we would deal with the plotting of this graph. I hope you guys understand. If you don't know, or if you didn't understand, please let me know on the comment section below. All right, 4.4 says here, describe the transformation of t to h. So what is h? So initially this graph was like this. This is t, 2 is to -x is to -4. That's it. And therefore now they are saying all of a sudden this graph now became like that. X. Okay, negative there. So guys, what you need to do here, you must describe. So guys, if initially we had a graph like this one, if initially our graph was like this, then all of a sudden it became like that, what happened? What happened is we moved this graph to a positive side of x. Okay, number x was negative here, we moved it to a positive side of x. So if the sign on the x exponent changes, what does that mean? It means it was reflected. It's a reflection on what? It's a reflection on y-axis. Okay, it's a reflection on y-axis. So if it was the other way around, y was negative, let's say if there was a negative here, just for the sake of understanding, if this function was like this, hope you guys take note of the difference here. If it was like this to the power of x, then all of a sudden it became like this to the power of x. What is the difference here? The difference here is that this one here, it's a reflection. It's a reflection. Both of them are reflection, but this one is a reflection on the x-axis. Okay, can you see the difference, guys? If the negative is on the x value, it's a reflection along the y. Okay, that's one, number one. Okay, number two, you can see from this function here, we had a -6 here, but -4 rather, then all of a sudden it is no longer there. So what happened? Thank you very much if you said this graph was moved upwards. So what happens is that what they did here, they added +4 here. So it means if you add something, then -4 + 4 will give us 0, hence it is no longer there. So it means what happened? It moved up. So this function moved up. So therefore it means this function was plus another reflection was moved up by 4 units. Great. Okay, so the total reflection on this function, which is 4.4 in this case, total reflection is this one here. It was reflected on the x-axis and moved up by 4 units. So therefore it becomes what? H of x. All right, so that's how you deal with a question like this one on exponent. I am Gaston Mapala. Let me see you on the next upload where we'll be doing question 5. I'm going to leave question 5 on this video, or please just view the whole list and then you will see this question paper until the last question. All right, let me see you on the next one.